and everything as usual. I'm going to play a random sound effect.
Hey, who's the new guy with the penis?
All right. Sounds good to me. The goal of the test is to check atypical, autistic, neurodiverse, and ASPE, and typical typical neurotypical traits in adults. Atypical traits can give you a reliable indication of autism spectrum traits prior to an eventual diagnosis. The rest of this is just talking about the actual stuff right now. I don't really care about that. Go directly to the test. Let's do this. Okay. So we got to do, also, if you want to take the test, Kitty did it earlier in the chat. If you wanted to take this one, you could do a test there. You couldn't get in, so you take it later. Okay. We'll figure it out, Kitty. You didn't score highly enough on the test for them to think I had any form of autism, but you have several neurological things. And that's fair too. I mean, it's supposedly like a major form of some sort of spectrum, right? So even if you aren't in this category, I think a lot of people have like some form of the spectrum. No luck on the slot machine there, Kitty. I think there's like a 1 in 100 chance in the slot machine, so you're just getting unlucky. Month of birth, July. Male, identify as male. Antarctica. I don't think anyone's actually been born in Antarctica. You have Tourette's and get migraines and some other stuff. I don't think that can be diagnosed through aspquiz.php. But it's good to get like an actual medical diagnosis, which this I'm not going to assume that this will substitute for that. Most precise ancestry. Kitty, I need your help. I'm like Swedish, right? Swedish. I want to say Swedish. I mean, right now I'm duck, but I'm assuming that this is going to be like a brain thing. Where is Swedish? I saw it earlier. I might like Netherlands. There's like Norway and Sweden. I feel like I'm, if I remember when we did the, 23 Skidoo, it would end up being like Sweden. Should be one that's Central Europe. Oh, that would handle like everything. And German on my dad's side. So I should, would Central Europe be better? Germany is like a whole different can of beans. I guess Central Europe would be right there in the middle. Yeah, that, because I think it's not exactly Swedish. I think I'll stick with Northern. I think that'll be close enough. I don't think it makes that big of a difference. ADD and ADHD, self-diagnosed and suspected. OCD, no. Social phobia, no. I don't really have any social phobias that I'm aware of. Okay, let's do this. I know that I'm in the way. Let me get out of the way here a little bit. Actually, no, now you can't see the questions. Never mind. If you're from a mix of people, you definitely have Northern Europe. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. And I mean, really, I don't think there's that big of a difference between Sweden and like the Netherlands and Finland. At least not for this particular quiz, but hey, who am I to stand in the way of science? All right, we've got 119 mixed questions. That's good. That's pretty in-depth. So let's get it started. I want to give this a fair shot. So we're going to have ourselves calm, quiet night. I know it's not going to be very dramatic. We're going to start doing some, we're going to do some Star Wars Jedi pretty soon. And that's going to be super cool and interesting. But this one I've been planning for a while. So let's get this started. Number 1. Do you like to protect people you're attached to even when they didn't ask for it? Yep. Absolutely. All the time. 100%. If they're within my walls, yeah. Protecting people is very important. Do you prefer to learn the character of a potential romantic partner through observation rather than conversation? I mean, I've been married for a long time, so I don't really think of romantic partners. So I mean, like, I don't really think, if I was thinking, like, if I was single, I think I would prefer to, like, get to know somebody by watching them. So I think that if I was single, then I would rather prefer to, like, watch somebody just a little bit, though. I'd rather actually talk to them. As a teenager, were you usually unaware of social rules and boundaries unless they were clearly spelled out? Nah, not really. Not really. No. I'm a watcher. Yeah, I think a 1 is good on that, though. I don't want to say, you know what? I'm going to switch that to 2. I think that is more of a yes. I would rather get to know somebody a lot by watching them and then get to know them. As a kid or as a teenager, you were usually unaware of social rules and boundaries unless they were clearly spelled out. I'm going to say no. I kind of knew social rules. I was a watcher and observer. I kind of just knew what was going on. Do you, excuse me, do you worry your friend doesn't really like you? No, not really. I mean, if you didn't like me, you wouldn't be my friend. When you were in high school, you definitely just followed this girl around and learned all her classes and stuff. Yeah, that's totally something I would have done as a teenager, 100%. Do you usually find faults with opinions that you don't share? What do you mean? Do you usually find faults with opinions that you don't share? Like, if somebody had an opinion that I don't share, like say their opinion is, I like black licorice. Do you usually find faults with that opinion? 100%. Yeah, I judge them critically. Do you enjoy traditional dating? I mean, again, I'm married. We still do go on dates. So yeah, I guess. I mean, a little, I guess. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Kitty, we go on dates. We just went on a date on Saturday somewhere. I don't remember where. Kitty, we should go on more dates. If you're dating a bunch of people trying to find someone that's what you would call traditional, oh, well, in that case, absolutely not. No, that sounds awful. Is your sense of humor different from mainstream or considered odd? Odd? I guess a little. From the mainstream? Yeah, I guess it would be a little odd. Like when they say like the general public? No, I still find a lot of stuff funny from the general public. Have I been accused of staring? Accused? Accused? No, not really. I'm not really a starer. I'm not really a starer. You're mostly a normie. I wouldn't go that far, Kitty. I have some weird humor things, but for the most part, no, not really. Have I been accused of staring? No. Not. I might gaze off into the distance, but I generally, is the music? I'm gonna turn my music down a bit. Generally what happens, I'm try to be hyper aware of if I'm staring like somebody in the face, because I don't generally like eye contact, which I assume will probably be a question on this at some point. I don't like eye contact. I do it when I have to, but if I'm not like actively in conversation with someone, I try to avoid just directly being like, hey, how's your lunch? I don't want to be that kind of guy. You've been accused of staring because your Adderall school makes you make a stare. What's the dosage of Adderall that your son takes? For his privacy, I won't publish that on the internet. Yeah, just for his privacy. I'm not privileged to share that info because you took 50. It's less than that. I'll say that. I think that's a fair statement. Are you sensitive to changes in humidity and air pressure? Am I sensitive to that? Yes, absolutely. 1,000%. I am extremely sensitive to changes in humidity, air pressure, weather. Like when I get into a room and it's like super warm and stuffy. Hate that shit. Do you tend to express your feelings in ways that may baffle others? Baffle? I wouldn't say baffle. Kitty, do I express my way and my feelings in ways that might baffle people? Do I baffle you? Do I baffle you? Are you baffled by me? I try not to baffle people. Baffle's a funny word.
Baffle.
In conversations.
Baffle.
Affle. Hi, Feelanoid. Affle. In conversations, do you need time to carefully think out your reply so that there may be a pause before you answer? No. Typically, I just barrel in conversations. I just barrel forth. There's not really a lot of careful thinking in my replies, to be honest. I generally try and be pretty assertive in my answers. Have you sensed that somebody was around you even when you couldn't see anybody? Ever? What do you mean? Ever? Like, ever? No, yeah, I guess. Sure, I get a little. You pre-plan all the answers to every possible question in your head. Are your eyes extra sensitive to strong light and glare? Extra sensitive? No, I wouldn't say they're extra sensitive. They're just, I'm not really that bothered by glare. I can kind of get over it pretty well. Do you have an avid perseverance in gathering? Boo this man. What? Do you... Oh, wait. I didn't actually finish. I didn't finish the sentence. Do you have an avid perseverance in gathering and or cataloging information on a topic of interest? Gee, I don't know. Do I? Do I need to look up at my obsidian vault of all the stupid bullshit I've been looking up? Yes, 100%. That's a 2. Can things that may seem... Try it again. Can things that might seem meaningless to others make sense to you? Yeah, all the time. 100%. Can things that might seem meaningless to others make sense to you? Sure. All the time. 100%. You don't think so? You don't think that anything that's meaningless, you don't sit there and think, Things that make sense to others don't even make sense to you. What? Can things that might seem meaningless to others make sense to you? Yeah. There's plenty of stuff that might seem meaningless to other people that I find worth, that I find sense. 100%. I don't know. Am I misinterpreting that question? I don't think I am. Do I have problems filling out forms? No, not really. No, I don't have any problem filling out forms. We all look and try and find the connections and everything. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm trolling. Don't troll in the autism test. I feel like we shouldn't do that. Do you have difficulties judging distances, height, depth, or speed? A little. I more have difficulties like estimating, like sizes and numbers, that sort of thing. I have a little bit of I would say a little bit, not a lot, because I would say that this is an autism specific question. What do you know? I'm reading the question. Do I have difficulties judging distances, height, depth, or speed? If I'm reading this question and taking the test, I would say, do I have difficulty judging distances? I mean, sometimes. I don't really. I kind of think about it sometimes. I kind of have an issue like judging the distance of a mile. Like sometimes the distance of a mile seems a little bonkers to me. Like I never am able to get that right in my head. Like I said, I'm willing to put it as like. And if they wanted it to be like, are you unable to judge distances? Is this a hindrance? Then yeah, that would be a 0. But no, I think that if I have difficulties for people who don't have any spatial recognition, that's why I said a like. I mean, just a little bit. Look, if they wanted it to be 0 flat, like I do have difficulties judging things sometimes. So it's just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Do you feel that you're a very special or unusual person? Kinda have main character syndrome a little bit. Do you tend to get so absorbed by your special interests that you forget or ignore everything else? Everything? No. A little bit. Everything? Kitty, I would think that'd be kind of a 1. I don't know. Everything is a lot. I do. Yeah, I'm not. That everything is cutting me off right there. No, I don't ever forget everything in my life. Not by any project. Not by anything that interests me. Do you tend to get romantic feelings for people that persistently show interest for you? I can't answer that question. I mean, you're special to me. Oh, you're special to me, kitty. Mwah. I have to think of this as if I were single, right? I don't understand. Like, how do I answer this question? Do I answer this question? I'm answering this as if I was single. I feel like if I was single, which is a wild concept to me, that probably, if people persist, yeah, you know what? Like when I was younger, I'll think about this when I was younger. I think that answer is 100% true. That if someone was interested in me in a lot, like, if someone was persistently interested in me, was like, talk to me, you should answer how you are with me. Well, then I don't get romantic feelings for other people. I think this is like that. I'm only romantic for you. I'm going to answer this one as if I was single and or a teenager, because I feel like if I answer this as a married man, go back to when we met, you showed interest in me a lot. So yeah, I would say the answer is yeah, because you showed that you cared about me. You showed that there was some interest in me. I could have wildly misinterpreted that, but I didn't, thankfully. Do you naturally approach somebody you have a romantic interest for? No. No, absolutely not. Kitty dropped the hammer with us. If she hadn't have said something, I probably would have at some point, maybe. But no, Kitty was the one who pulled the grenade on that one. I am a goddamn coward when it comes to rejection and romance. So like before Kitty, there wasn't a whole lot before Kitty. I was like 19. Will you abandon your friends if your activities or ideals clash? Will I abandon my friends? Will I abandon my friends if our activities or ideals clash? I wouldn't say I'd abandon them. This is hard for me because I feel like I don't have any issue with approaching people, but also I keep seeing pretty girls while they're working and I don't want to corner them at work. Good idea, Glorp. Excellent idea. While Kitty and I had an excellent workplace romance, I can with honest certainty not recommend workplace romances. Why abandon my friends if your activities or ideals clash? It depends. I guess a little. It depends. Like, if your activities and ideals clash, like if you like sports, like I'm not gonna abandon you. I'm not gonna disregard you entirely. If you're like a conservative, but sports are an activity, so that counts. Like if your activities involve working on cars, if your activities involve watching Dancing with the Stars, I don't want to do any of that shit. It sounds boring, but I'm not going to abandon you. But if your ideal is going to a rally for certain orange men, then yeah, I'm gonna abandon the shit out of you. I'm gonna do a like on that one. I'm gonna do a number 1. Do you have difficulty accepting criticism, correction, and direction? A little bit. I wouldn't say a lot. I think you should do it too, because sports is something you don't care about, but it isn't clashing. You're not anti-sports. I'm kind of anti-sports. But I wouldn't abandon, like, what is an there's only certain things that I would abandon people for. And they're very specific things. They're like people that abandon the social contract. I would abandon the hell out of them, absolutely. But typically, no, I wouldn't abandon a friend just because I found out they liked guns. Why are you anti-sports, Roar? Because sports suck balls. Are you good at teamwork? What do you mean? Like, I guess? Not kinda? A little bit? Not really. I don't really like teamwork. I like to do things on my own, but I'm good at it, I guess. What if I found out they had a large assault rifle collection? I wouldn't abandon them. If they were a good person otherwise, I wouldn't abandon them. That's why I'm willing to do a 1. Because there are some things that I would 100% abandon them for, but they are very rare. Do you accept criticism, correction, and direction? Is that not the same thing we just answered? Is that not the same thing we just answered? Is that what you is that yours, Feel Annoyed? Why is F12 not working? Maybe I should actually push the right button. I don't know how to read this. I haven't gotten to this part of the test yet. You're very talented, though. Yes, it might not be your favorite, but you're good at it. Thank you. That's kind of what I was thinking. I don't like teamwork, but it's okay. So I will say, yeah, I'm a little bit. Do you accept criticism, correction, and direction? Do I accept it? Is this not the answer that we just did? Do I have difficulty accepting it? Do I accept it? Yeah, I mean, I of course I do. Criticism is important. Criticism is constructive criticism, especially. It's important for, growth. Do I have trouble reading clocks? I'm gonna say no on that one. I'm gonna say no. I'm good on clocks. Do you avoid talking because you cannot reliably predict how others will react, especially strangers? 1,000% yes. 100% yes. I was kind of wondering if I wanted to do a cock reference. I refrained, so thank you, Glorp, for taking the reins on that one. I would be 100% okay talking to people and like, you know, getting into conversations with people, but I have no idea how that conversation's going to go. And I know that's part of the point, but I don't like that shit. So sometimes it's just easier just to be quiet, pull out my phone, and have people think I'm a Nerdlemeyer. Your score, 120 of 200, 90% probability of being atypical, autistic, neurodiverse, and that's your graph. And that's what I was saying before, Feelanoid. I mean, I think, what is it, like 4 in 100 of all U.S. American lads there are some form of autistic, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a way of the brain working. I'm sure I'm going to be somewhere on this. 80% of coons. I don't think that's a statistic we can prove. We're at number 28. There's like 100 to go. Is your sense of humor fairly conventional? I'd say yes. I'd say yeah. I would say I have a fairly conventional sense of humor. Do I examine the hair of people I like a lot? Not really, no. I like hair, but do I examine it a lot? Do I examine it? Like, do I like get up real close and be like, oh my God, I like your hair? I don't know about that. I mean, I guess a little. I like Kitty's hair. I don't really, hair is not one of the things that I really notice in people. It's not something that's high up on my wheelhouse. Not because I don't like hair. It's just not something I really pay a lot of attention to. I'd say I examine it a little bit because I examine all of them, I would guess. Is it difficult to pass on messages correctly? What do you mean by correctly? I'm going to say a 1. I don't know. Kinda? I have like a bad habit of not taking very good messages. Like people will call and I'll like take a bunch of messages and I'll just be looking at it and it will just be like the entire stupid thing will just be like and the name is Nadia and 407 and that will be my note. And it's like, what the hell? What was I even doing? So I'm going to say, but that said, I would feel like I do kind of get the message across. So I'd say a 1. Are you shy? Yes. Yeah, 1,000%, 100%. Do you get confused by several verbal instructions at the same time? Yes. Kinda. I'll say a 1 on that. Not really. A little bit. Like if 2 people are talking at the same time, it's a little confusing. Do I like tongue kissing? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, I love tongue kissing. Tongue kissing's the best. Are you bothered by clothes tags or light touch? If it's a scratchy clothes tag, if it's a noticeable clothes tag, yeah. Yeah, it bothers me a lot, actually. You don't have Jewish on the ancestry list, so you put Irish. I don't know enough of it. Leave me a big thirst at beg time. What other kinds of kissing are going to be on this? I'm not sure. I don't know. Do you expect other people to know your thoughts, experiences, and opinions without you having to tell them? Kinda. I'm getting better at this. When I was a teenager, yeah, I have this I've talked about this before. I have this bad habit where I just assume that like if I'm done with something, everyone else is kind of done with it too. Like if I stop playing Wordle, like people will be like, and I'll look at like the Wordle family friends list and I'll be like, oh, you guys are still playing Wordle? I thought everyone stopped that. That said, I'm getting a little better at that. So to answer the question, do you expect other people to know your thoughts, experiences, and opinions without you having to tell them? Kinda. A little bit. Definitely when I was younger. Do you notice patterns in things all the time? Kinda. Yeah, a lot, actually. Patterns everywhere, man. Is it hard for you to see why some things upset people so much? No. No, absolutely not. No, I find it very plausible why some people are upset by things. Noticing patterns is the not autistic option. That's okay. I'm not trying to game the system. I don't want, I don't want to go one way or another. Is it hard for you to see why some things upset people so much? No, I can understand why some people get upset. Some of these are very clear one way or the other. Ah, gotcha. Do you have problems with timing in conversations? A little bit. Problems. Kind of. I have a tendency to try and talk while other people are talking. I wouldn't say a lot, kinda. Allegedly, this quiz is highly recommended by people with autism, so I picked the one that seemed to be the best. Best. Do you bite your lip, cheek, or tongue when thinking or anxious or nervous? No. When I'm anxious or nervous, no. I don't bite. That's not my thing. I don't do any of that. When I'm anxious or nervous or bored or anything, I will my nervous tick is going to my nails. I don't use nail clippers, and I should, but my nails are mostly trimmed, mostly because I just tend to use my other nails to keep them trimmed. But I don't think that doesn't have anything to do with biting anything. So no, the answer is no. Do you prefer to only meet people you know, one-on-one, or in small familiar groups? Okay, what? Do you prefer to only meet people you know, one-on-one? Okay, how am I supposed to answer this? Is this is this an A, B, or C? Do you prefer to only meet people you know, one-on-one, or in small familiar groups? I don't understand the question. Am I stupid? Do you prefer to only meet people you know? Do you not like being in big groups is the question. Do I not like being in big groups? No, I don't like being in big groups. I'd say yeah. I'm not a big group fan. I'm not really following that question very well. Do you like to have small talk before getting on to the important topics in conversation? Fuck no. Holy God, that was loud. Sorry. Fuck no. Small talk's the worst. Ooh, small talk sucks. Do you find it hard to tell the age of people? Kinda. I wouldn't say, how hard are we talking? I'm not a very good judge of age, but I wouldn't say I find it debilitating. Like meeting 1 to 3 people rather than 20. I'd say the answer is yeah, that I would prefer the smaller groups. I'd say it's a little hard for me. And I can generally tell people's age, but when it comes to specifics, I'm pretty bad at that estimate. If there is an interruption, can you quickly return to what you're doing before? Again, a little. Sometimes. Not all the time. I'd say 1 on that one, a little bit. Goths. Yeah, goths. That one, they throw off the range a little bit. You're a terrible judge of age, but you're usually wrong in a flattering way, so it's kind of fine. Yeah, just aim low. It's like don't try and think anybody else is someone's mother instead of their sister or anything. Do you dislike being hugged when you haven't asked for it? Yes. Yeah, I'm not a huge hugger. Do you like to create routines for things you've figured it out so you don't have to figure it out again? What do you mean? What do you mean by a routine? What is that? What does a routine mean? Like, do you create a routine for yourself for things that I've figured it out so I don't have to figure it out again? I mean, I guess. Love you, kitty. I don't know what it means by a routine, but I would say that I do like, once I figure something out, I don't like having to figure it out again. Not a fan of that. So yeah, I would say yes to that. Do you find yourself at ease in romantic situations? I would say yes. I would say yes. I know this is weird because, you know, married for many, many decades. So it's hard to tell. But yeah, I would say even when we were first dating, yeah, I would think that I was relatively at ease other than the general, you know, nerves. Do you find it easier to understand and communicate with odd and unusual people rather than ordinary people? Easier to understand and communicate. I would say no on this. I don't find it any easier to talk to odd people than it would be to talk to a normie. I'm going to say no on that one. In fact, if you're too odd or unusual, I'm going to have a harder time talking to you. So that's a 0 on that one. Do you instinctively, you were the insertive one back then, Kitty. You took this bull by the horns. Do you instinctively know when it's your turn to speak when talking on the phone? This is like a very specific autism question, I'm thinking. I'm going to say yes. Typically, yes. Just in general. Do you need a lot of motivation to do things? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. 1000% yes. Do you pace when thinking or anxious? Yep. 100%. I love me some pacing. Pacing is very therapeutic. Like last week when we had to take Finn to the him to the vet, to the emergency vet, and they took so long. And I was pacing back and forth. It sucked. Do you find it easy to estimate the age of people? Are you fucking with me? What's going on here? Do you find it hard to tell the age of people? Do you find it easy to estimate the age of people? Not really, no. It's not hard to estimate, but I wouldn't say it's easy in any way. I'm not terribly good at estimating, as previously mentioned. Did you feel lonely as a child? Not really. Not really. I had was with my brother most of the time, I guess. If you said you didn't find it hard, you could say that you found it easy. They're technically different. Fair enough. Do you tend to wander off the topic when having a conversation? Tend to? I would say a little. Not all the time, but yeah, it happens. Sure, absolutely. Are you good at interpreting facial expressions? This sounds like a specific autism question. I would say yes. I'm pretty decent at reading the room, at interpreting what people are thinking or what's going on. I could be wrong. I tend to think I'm a pretty good interpreter of that. Do you have a good sense of how much pressure to apply when doing things with your hands? I would say yes, 1000%. WTF is this? Hold on, let me do something real quick. So if I go over here to the Discord, I'm going to click on the stream schedule. And over here, this actually has the next stream showing up as May 12th of Sunday, which is wrong, actually. This fucking joke doesn't work anymore. I screwed it up. Never mind. Do you have to feel like you're on guard all times, even with friends? Hi, Sprawl. What's going on? Anyways, to answer the question from before, do I know how much pressure to apply with things with my hands? Yes. Easy. 1000%. The rest of it was correct, though. The next stream was correct. Just the date was wrong. And you would know if I was wrong if you checked the channel. Just saying. This is our autism test. My hands are priceless. Aw, kitty. Do you feel like you have to be on your guard even with friends? On your guard? What do you mean? Kinda. How good of friends are we talking? I think yes. Because unless it's Kitty or family, like really close family, I think yeah, I'm on guard a lot. I try to be. Are you defensive around me? I'm defensive around everybody. Except for Kitty. Do I have a good sense of time? I'd say yes. Generally speaking, I'd say yes. Not in the nitty-gritty, but yeah. Do you dislike it when people drop by to visit you unannounced? Is there a 10 option? Holy God in heaven. Can I add like a zero? Hold on, I got this. There we go. I'm just going to add a big fucking 0, 0. I'm going to add a couple boobs onto that one just so we're clear. I hate that. Hate it. Do you prefer to construct your own set of spiritual beliefs rather than following existing religions or belief systems? No. I mean, construct my own set sounds a bit strong. Not even enough for a 1. There are bits and pieces of all sorts of things that I take into my belief system, but I wouldn't say I construct my own belief system by any stretch. What if you show up one day unannounced? I'd probably be upset. Realistically speaking, I'd probably be upset. I wouldn't show it because I'm a good host, but I would go into the other room and be very mad. Do you know, not for you specifically, but just anyone in general? You think I do what? Make up my own set of spiritual beliefs? I don't think so. Not spiritually speaking. Pretty much everything I have spiritually, holistically speaking, it comes from an existing system. I guess I'll say a 1. Because I guess I don't take anything from the whole, but nothing I make is like specifically 100% create your own publicity. Yeah, exactly. I guess. Do I notice odors that other people don't seem to notice? All the time? Kinda. Sometimes. Like I tend to notice odors a lot. Every now and this music is very intense for this. Hold on. There we go. You're a little dramatic there. You'd hodgepodge what? Sorry, the delay has. I don't know what hodgepodging. Do you find it easy to keep up with group discussions where everyone is speaking? I would say in general, gotcha. I would say in general, yes, but not all the time. So I would say, like, if everyone is speaking, I will just tune out. I will just put on the shades and just be like, you know what? When y'all are done talking, we'll talk later. We'll talk about this at a different point. We're sensitive to strong scents. But sensitive to strong scents, except weed. Butt spot, yes. Do you find Do you find it difficult to engage in a task of no interest? We're going to get to question 69, and then I'll take a break. Do you find it difficult to engage in a task of no interest to you, even if it's important? Yes. Easily, yes. A task that's no interest to me, moving mountains. I hate that. Have you been talked into having sex, even if you really didn't want to? Yes. Hasn't everybody who's been in a sexual relationship? Like, I'm not in the mood for sex, and Kitty's like, but I'm horny and ready for sex. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's have sex. Yeah, I mean, sure. Absolutely. Do you rock back and forth or side to side? No, not really. I would say no on that one. I don't really do a lot of rocking. Do I enjoy travel? Oh, I'm going to give that one a 1. I do like travel, but I also hate travel. TMI. Fair enough, Kitty. I'm just saying, we've been together for decades. At some point, I'm sure that's happened. Are you often delighted by small things, like the colors in like the colors in soap bubbles and the 5-pointed star shape that appears when you cut the apple across the core? Am I often delighted by them? I don't know. Often? Like every time? Delighted? I'm giving that a 1. Like, yeah, I like that sort of stuff a lot. Do I look at soap? Sure. All the time. I wouldn't say I'm delighted by them. That's very strong terminology. Do you instinctively become frightened by the sound of a motorbike? Did I kitten write this question? That's rude. It's probably offensive. No, I'm not frightened by a motorcycle. What do you mean, like, you look at your hands when you wash your hands? Sure, everybody looks at soap. Do you have an urge to observe the habits of humans or animals? I'd say yes. I've got 1,000 channels almost of Roar TV. A lot of them are cats and people. I like watching streams with people in them. I like watching nature streams. So I'd say yes on all those. Am I a cat quiz? That's question 69. The next question is, do you have a fascination for slowly floating water? So there's a humdinger for you. I'm going to go I'm going to eat my Pop-Tarts actually and go pee-pee. So I will be back in 3 minutes. Don't go away. We got half the quiz to go. I didn't finish the Pop-Tarts. I only got like one of them because I was talking to Kitty. I'm going to take a drink. 1 second. All right. We're back. Was I telling Kitty she was the best? I gave her a kiss. I think I did. If not, I'll do it later. She is the best. The answer is blueberry, by the way. I had blueberry Pop-Tarts. Anyways, question number 70. Do you have a fascination for slowly flowing water? Fascination? What do you mean by fascination? I'm going to say no. Like just flat out no on that one. A lot of practice, bro. I'm more fascinated by fast flowing water than anything. Not slow moving water doesn't really do a lot for me. Excuse me. Do others often misunderstand me? I would say in general, not really. What do you guys think? I don't know. I don't feel like I'm generally misunderstood. Let me take a look at this. I don't know if I've had the chocolate chip ones. I'm going to be honest, not a huge fan of chocolate flavored Pop-Tarts, with the exception of the s'mores. These right here. Here, I got them. You feel like you're we at least misunderstand you a lot. Yeah, but I'm streaming. That's a whole different can of beans. I wouldn't say that you guys misunderstand me. You deliberately misinterpret me. You haven't had Pop-Tarts in 5 years? Sprawl, what the why? Why? Do I have an urge to jump over things? No? Not really? Not really. I'm not really a jump over things kind of guy. Do you feel irritated when one person disagrees with what everyone else in the group believes? Yes. Kinda. Yeah, a little bit. A lot, actually. Is that like when Riker sits down? No, I don't think so. There's a Roar TV channel about that. If I see the chocolate chip ones, I'll pick them up. But I don't think I've ever seen that one. Do you dislike it when people stamp their foot in the floor? I know what you mean by that. Do I dislike it when people stamp their foot? I don't really care, but I don't really like loud noises anyways. So I'm going to say a 1 on that one. I don't let it go. It's only one letter away. I don't really have a specific problem with foot stomping, but I don't like loud noises anyways. Do I fail to understand pop culture, things being in style, or why people jump into the latest trend? No, not particularly. I understand pop culture perfectly fine. I don't like it. I don't like things being in style, but I understand it just fine. Do I have unusual sexual preferences? Kitty? I'd say no. Not really. I don't kink shame. That's a 2. You fail to understand pop culture, Brad? Also, hi. I don't think I have unusual sexual preferences. I think my sexual preferences are pretty normal. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I think they're fairly normal. Do people sometimes think you're smiling at the wrong occasion? No, not really. No, not. And probably the opposite. Probably like I'm not smiling when I'm supposed to be. Do you like Being in style. The short answer is no. The long answer, kinda. A little bit. I kind of like being liked. Being, you know, that, look at Roar. He's having style on the internet. The most stylish of styles. Yeah, I would say, yeah. I wouldn't say I like being in style, per se. I don't think that's what the question means. But I think in the spirit of the question, I think one is correct. Aw, thank you. Literally a ping tuber. Long answer is still no. I do that joke so much. So do you think that's a 2? You think I'm a 2? You think I like being in style? Other than the stream, which is, honestly, guys, the stream is like my car that I work on in the garage. You think you're a 1? I feel like a 1 is close. What's wrong with being a ping tuber? Why does a ping tuber mean being in style? How the hell is a ping tuber being in style? Isn't that like a negative? Isn't being a ping tuber like a negative these days? I think so too, Brad. I think it's talking about being in style in terms of fashion. You don't give a shit. I don't, but that's why the question is... That's why the question is ambiguous. Look at the shirt I'm wearing right now. Oh, let's see. I've got a hole through half. Oh, you mean the Horizon shirt. I'm going to say a 1 on that one. I don't feel like I'm super in style. These questions are pre-internet. You don't think it's entirely about fashion? I'm going to say 1. I'll say a 1. Do you feel like you're being persecuted in some way? Me? No. I could not be less persecuted. I am on life's easy mode. Can you easily remember verbal instructions? No. No. God, no. Holy God, no. Absolutely not. Do you prefer to do things on your own, even if you could use others' help or expertise? Yes. I would say yeah on that one. I prefer to do things on my lonesome, even if it would make things easier if I involved a teammate. Appreciate you as much as we can. I appreciate that. Do you have obsessive attachments to animate objects? Do they mean inanimate? Obsessive? I don't understand what they mean by animate objects. Like cats? Like kitty? Like my car? I don't understand that one. I would say I don't have an obsessive attachment to any object. Unless you count weed, I guess. But that's not really an object. I'm going to say in the spirit of the question that would be a no. I don't really have an obsessive attachment to anything. When you listen to music, can you get so caught up in it that you don't notice anything else? So caught up in it that you don't notice anything else? Like your car? I would say that's still a no. You have video evidence. Are you still on the deviancy? I did a 1 on the deviancy. 92 out of 100, 71% probability of being typical neurotypical. What does that mean? The typical neurotypical. Does that mean 71% chance of being... Which one? Neurotypical is non-autistic, right?
Oh yeah. All we need now is some pee-pee.
I meant to put that message here, Rip.
Thank you, Sprawl. Thank you for the 19 months. You meant to put what message here? 71% chance of not having autism. Thank you for the Bezos money. Typical means normal. Gotcha. Well, I mean, normal. Oh, that's bad terminology. The fairy porn thing. Oh, gotcha. I was wondering what you were talking about. Anyways, do I listen to music so I can get so caught up in it you don't notice anything else? I would say no. I could sometimes listen to it loud enough that I don't like hear anything else. Atypical means Garfield. I would say that I don't get that involved in the music. Not in general, no. Do you wring your hands, rub your hands together, or twirl your fingers? Wring my hands, rub my hands together, or twirl my fingers. I'm doing all those right now. You can't, it's under the hold on. I'm doing them right now. I'd say no on all of those. I don't do any of those. Oh, I love this channel. It's the best work TV channel. In a conversation, do you tend to focus on your own thoughts rather than what your listener might be thinking? Do I tend to? I'd say a 1, realistically. I wouldn't say I do it a lot, but it does happen. It happens an unfortunate amount. I'd say that's a 1. Do you find it difficult to take notes in lectures? Like in college? As much as I was saying earlier about notes that I have to pass to people like messages, when it comes to like taking notes in like a meeting, I'm not that bad at it. I would say not particularly. I don't do particularly poorly at taking notes. Only when it's like I'm on the phone and I have to take like a phone message for somebody else. And I didn't even want to answer the damn phone to begin with. Do you tend to say things that are socially considered inappropriate when you're tired, frustrated, or when you act naturally? Huh? When you are tired, frustrated, or when you act naturally? I would say yeah. I would agree with that I'm definitely that kind. I don't know why they went to when you act naturally. Like, isn't that against the beginning of the question? Do you spend hours overthinking and reenacting negative social interaction? Hours? Yeah. Yeah, kinda. Hours is a lot. But I guess it would be. Like, if it was a serious negative social interaction, yeah, it would be hours. Over the course of days, sure, but hours, yeah. Do you tend to play the same tune many times in a row? Yes. Yeah, that is something I do. It's not a very good trait, but yeah, I tend to do that. Do you find it easy to describe your feelings? My feelings. What tune do you whistle? I don't tend to whistle. I'm not a whistling fan. I don't particularly find it easy to describe my feelings. I can do it, but do I find it easy? I guess a 1. I'm getting better at it. No, not really. I find it kind of hard, actually, still. Do you recognize a lot of people? A lot of people? What do you mean by that? Recognize them? Like, do I know them? I guess, yeah. I have a terrible time with names, so I guess that would be a 1. But yeah, I recognize people by face a lot. Do you have or used to have imaginary relationships? That's a fat two if I've ever seen one. Yeah, 100%. Imaginary relationships. Do you cry about nothing? No. No, I'm not a crier. I cry about I don't cry about things that I should cry about. Has it been harder for you than others to keep friends? I'd say yes. I don't know. I'd say a 1 on that one. Harder than others? A little, I guess. Do I have a tulpa? I feel like I know what a tulpa is. Is that the spirit creatures from Chakotay on Star Trek Voyager? Do you see your own activities as more important than other people's? Big fat two if I've ever seen one. Do you realize hours later that somebody that you have a romantic interest for actually showed interest for you and then feel bad about the missed opportunity to connect? No. No, I'm hilariously obtuse. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I only have romantic interest for one special lady. But if I was not married, I would be hilariously obtuse, yes. Do you have to keep an eye out to stop people from taking advantage of you? I don't know about that. I give such a low expectation that I think people don't try to take advantage of me. It's like, why even bother? I don't think so. You're being so honest. Am I not supposed to be? What do you mean? I'm trying to be honest. What do I care? It's my stream. Of course I'm honest. The opinions of either my friends or complete strangers are both, are both filed away, and that they will be assorted accordingly. Is you proud, Nummy? Oh, well, thank you. Are you asexual? No. Are you still fascinated by many of the things you were fascinated in when you were much younger? I'd say yes. Yes, in general. Sprawl's not wrong. Do you practice what you want? Practice what you want to say in conversations? No. As previously mentioned, I am very spur of the cuff, gobbledygook in my conversations. Do you tap your ears or press your eyes when thinking or stressed or distressed? What? Hold on. I'm going to try that. Tap your ears. Why the hell would I do this? This is stupid. No disrespect intended, but this doesn't help me. Or press your eyes. I don't want to do that. No, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say 0 to that. Do you dislike when people walk behind you? 1,000% yes. I hate it when people are behind me, just in general. Just in general, 100%. Do you enjoy big events even when they're crowded? No. No, God no. God no. Ew. Do you feel an urge to peel flakes off of yourself and others? That's gross. What do you mean? Urge to, do you mean pick scabs? I guess the answer is kinda. Off of others? That's gross. I guess I'd say a 1 if it's myself. I have like a tendency to like fuck with things if they're trying to heal. Pressing your eyes is a thing people who get migraines do. That's fair. Like if I have a headache, yeah, I'll rub against my temples, but I don't think that's not what the question's asking. It's like, you know, if you're stressed, like, no, I rub my temples, not press my eyes. Like if someone has a zit, that's still gross. Also, I don't think they can peel flakes is just a weird way of saying that, but I think it means pick scabs, which unfortunately, yeah, kinda. Do you quickly become impatient and irritated if you would not find a solution to a problem? Quickly? I wouldn't say quickly. A little bit, not a lot. If I can't find the solution to a problem and it's frustrating me, yeah, don't you want to pop them on someone else? No. Ew. Do you tend to look at a lot of people you like? What? Do you tend to...
Do you tend to look a lot at people you like and little or not at all at people you dislike?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that. If I don't like somebody, no, I don't want to look at them. And if I like somebody, yeah, I'm going to look at them a lot. I'd say, yeah, that's a 2. Do you like to follow behind people you're attracted to? Attached to. Do you like to walk behind people you're attached to? No, not particularly. Do you have problems finding your way to new places? Problems? Not really. Not particularly. Do you stare at people you like? I don't really stare, no, but I look at them. That's a question about making eye contact with people or avoiding anybody around that's worded really weirdly. Yeah, it's a weird worded question. Do I enjoy spinning in circles? Not particularly. I did when I was a kid, but I don't think that was... I think that was more of just being a kid thing. Do you find it natural to wave or say hi when you meet people? When I meet people for like the day, I'm getting better at that. I used to be very like stoic and stone-faced when I was like walking people, like walking next to people. Like I could say hi like in the morning, like to people coming into like work and stuff. Yeah, I could do that. Do I find it natural? No. No, I don't find it natural. I feel like it is a constant, I have to think about it. I have to like, oh shit, I need to think that person. I need to have that person. Are you unhappy if you're behind me pushing a cart? Let me see. Where was the question? I don't have a problem with it, Kitty. I just don't prefer it. It says, do you like to follow behind people? It's like, I wouldn't say I like it. I like to walk with people. This isn't a dog quiz. I get people with autism might like spinning in circles. I don't know. I don't know how this quiz works. Do you have difficulty describing and summarizing things? For example, events, conversations, or something you've read? I'd say no. I'd say no to that. I'm pretty. I don't mind like giving recaps of things. Do you tend to shut down or have a meltdown when stressed or overwhelmed? No. I don't know. Define meltdown. I'd say no. When I'm stressed or overwhelmed, I have a tendency to like hammer through hard. I might get pissy. I might get mad. I might be upset. But do I have a meltdown? Do I shut down? No, the work's got to get done. You go silent. That's not what it's asking, though. Do I shut down? No, I can still get it done. But no, I don't really have a meltdown. What What was my reaction when it was YCS? Are we having an AMA? You just ask me anything. I was sad. I was a little offended. I was like, you really couldn't have done this 4 months ago? I was almost done with the stupid Let's Play. Do you tend to interpret things literally? Do I tend to? I would say not particularly. Do I tend to interpret things literally? Not so much anymore. I would say no. Like if there was a... Yeah, like if there was a euphemism or something, I wouldn't necessarily always go literally on that. I don't think you do necessarily, Kitty, but I think you might do it a little more than me. Dogmark and Jalad. Have others told you that you have an odd posture or gait? No. But I have had multiple people previously in the past have told me that, like, when I walk, like when I used to walk at attractions, hold on. Never mind. When I used to walk around, I used to walk like and take like slow walking around and looking around because that was my job. I had to actually like look at stuff. And I also used to have like a huge fat neck. So like when I was wearing, I still do kind of, but it used to be worse. So I used to wear a clip-on tie. So when my big old fat honking gout neck like went down on my necktie, I hated that feeling. So I kept my neck up high. I kept my chin up so it wouldn't feel like that. So so people would call me like Chin Up. That was like my nickname for like at least a couple people there. That said, I wouldn't say people say that I have an odd posture or gait. I walk on tiptoes. I don't really do that anymore though, Kitty. I don't feel like I do that anymore anyways. I would say no. They have told me in the past though. So I will say one because people have told me in the past. In fact, actually, I guess I'll say they say that I have. I'll say have. It was also that too, but there was also the thing I was saying before where I used to walk around. And well, Kitty, remember the person who said that I was like a water baby? Is that socially acceptable to say? If it is, too late. If it's not, too late. It's live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. There was somebody that said that I was like that. So I mean, like, that's definitely a one, I'd say. Wait for getting a snack from the kitchen. That's because I'm trying to avoid stepping on a dog. Do you need to do things for yourself in order to remember them? Do you need to do things yourself in order to remember them? Yes. Are you dropping frames? I did drop 1,000 frames, yes. I don't know when that happened, but I did drop 1,000 frames. What happened? Did it disconnect? Okay, yeah, that's pretty much the whole story that I'm actually going to say. That somebody in the past said that I was a water baby. I need to stop saying that word just in case it's not something I can socially acceptably say these days. But and previously in the past, people have said that I have an odd gait. Do you need to do things yourself in order to remember them? I'd say kinda, yeah, a little bit. A little bit, yeah. What does that mean? Like when, like, I don't want to. I don't want to say it in case it's not socially acceptable now. I'm just going to stop saying it. Is it important for you to find a unique niche where you can acquire unique competence? Terrible worded sentence. Terrible worded sentence. Is it important for you to find a unique niche? Kinda. Unique competence. I kind of want to, make my way in the world. I kind of want to be, I would say, yeah, it's important to be unique. Have I experienced stronger than normal attachments to certain people? Stronger than normal? I can't say that. I don't know. Like, you're on 2 on this with streaming. Am I though? I mean, I'd like to think that I want to find a unique niche, but like, am I that unique? I'd like to think I am. I don't know. Have I experienced stronger than normal attachments? I would say no. This feels like an autism specific question. Stronger than normal attachments. I wouldn't say like stronger than normal. I would say I have normal attachments to certain people. Like, I'm attached to Kitty. She's my soulmate. Stronger than normal feels like, my heart's bursting at the seams for my cat. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. Do I have extra sensitive hearing?
It's okay, Roar. I know you are strongly attached to me. V.
I know you're strongly attached to me. V. Do you have extra sensitive hearing? I would say no, not particularly. Do you need to prepare yourself mentally before going somewhere? Yeah, easily. 1,000%. 100% yes. Did I miss any questions? This actually went on longer than I thought it would. That's actually good. Nice. Which is good because I actually kind of figured out which tattoo I wanted. Feels like I Christmas treed this. All right, let's do this. What do we get? I did not select an artist. I have a 93 out of 200, which means I have a 68. 68? Suck me off! Probability of being typical. 68! So close. Come on. That sucks. Fine. Here's my thing. I'm gonna put it in the Twitch viewer. Okay, so let me get out of the way here. What are we looking at here? So roughly leaning towards talent, perception. See, I have a different one than Glorp, and let me get rid of these Pop-Tarts so I can see Feelanoids. Yeah, so I have a drastically different chart than both. You all can't see what I'm looking at. There you go. See down here, this really tiny thing down here? You can see very drastically different charts. It's interesting. What's this about a tattoo? Are there local ones? No, I don't know that much. I don't know if I want to look up like actual tattoo artists on stream. I don't know. Where would we go for a tattoo artist? Like Claremont, Florida. I just looked up Claremont, Florida like an idiot. Claremont, Florida tattoo artist. None of us are likely to be autistic. I don't think any of us, I can't say for you guys. I don't know. I have no idea. I can only speak for myself. But I don't believe... Oh, right. Right, where'd you get your tattoo? Oh, he lives on like the other side of the world, though. There's one Ink Tattoos in Mineola. There's not. You can't see anything, Kitty. This is just Claremont. They already know we live in Claremont. You found me a tattoo. 1 mile east of I-4 on 50. 1 mile east of I-4 on 50. Also, what is this dragon tattoo? So this is the tattoo I'm thinking of. And I don't know. I'm not. It has a lot of special meaning. I don't know where to put it. So I'm planning to get a tattoo of Soichiro, the dog from Mason Ikoku. And the name Soichiro has I can get back up in the way. Has a ton of meaning for me. Mason Ikoku has a ton of meaning for me. You posted the tattoo. Did you post it in my... Where did you post it? Is that Custer? Oh, I thought it was Custer. I just saw a video on Custer's Revenge. Oh, so you want to look for someone who does anime art. I don't think I'm going to get the King Graham tattoo. Oh, Graham! That said, that's actually a cool tattoo. There's plenty of those. I mean, it's not a particularly difficult tattoo. I wouldn't expect. I'm not likely to be autistic, at least not extremely so, and I think there's a 90% chance of being neurodivergent thing. It's kind of horseshit based on having a significant diagnosis to neurodivergent. Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is not a medical professional grade test by any stretch. We would have to test out, get a doctor's representation of it. I wanted to take a look at this over here. This is a tattoo placement chart. Corp has been to your house, and I know your address, and Sean is your brother. Sean is your brother, the only ones out are feeling annoyed and brain busted, I guess, pirates. Fair. We want to look at someone who specializes in the art and find out how their art works. So where do I want this tattoo, guys? Where is a good spot for this tattoo? Kitty thinks the best place for, like, most people, like most guys, as just a general spot. Neck. Like bicep?
Tramp stamp.
I'm not putting Soichiro the dog as a tramp stamp. I'm thinking, where's this tattoo placement chart? Ass cheek. So the options are no neck. One over your pecs. The options, according to this site, top of the foot. Not putting it there. Wrist. Wrist is
Tattoo your duckbill.
Wrist is somewhere I would like to put a tattoo at some point. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure if I want to have this on my wrist. Yeah, I don't think so. Now, like the bicep. Hold on, here we go. Now the bicep, like if I have like my big, strong, muscly arms, then I could have it like a bicep. You know what? That actually doesn't seem too bad. Like having Soichiro on the bicep. Not the bicep. What am I? Yeah, on my arm. That might not be too bad. What are my other options? Like top of the foot. Look, it's been a disaster. Here you go. You guys want to see some feet pics? Here we go. So if I want to get it on like my foot, yeah. Oh, Kitty. Kitty. No, should I put a dog on my foot? What are my other options? Hold on. Let me see. Top of the foot, fingers. I don't think I want dog on my finger. Back of the palm. No, not back of the palm. Ankle. I'm not really feeling an ankle tattoo. What is Bill Murray drinking? Booze? It's alcohol. It's Jim Beam, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not really an alcohol person. Behind the ear. I think it's alcohol in the movie of some form. So what? I just have like my ear right here, and then like the rest of me, my hair. I'm not feeling behind the ear for old Soichiro. I want to have a relatively. I don't want it to be huge. I might get more tattoos, and I prefer the look of like a minimalistic forehead. I don't think Disney would like that. Here are my options for medium. Okay, okay, smart thinking, guys. So, oh my god, neck. Yeah, you were right. I didn't actually think about it until the neck. Until you, I know you said it before, but actually seeing it. You love this Road TV. This was your suggestion. Well, not suggestion, but you put it up, and I stole it, like most of the Road TV channels. I took from other people. Just have like a dog right on the neck. Like just have my chin right here. It's like, yep, there's a lot of meaning behind this dog. Where else do we got? The sternum, the solar plexus, no thank you. The inner part of the wrist, no thank you. I'm thinking here. I'm thinking like right arm right here. The inside of the thigh. Yep. I was thinking the same things, bro. I pull off the pants, get ready for the sex, and then there's this right next to the old donger. Back of the thigh, front of the calf. No thanks. You would suggest upper arm, so even a short sleeve will cover it. But the thing about Disney is, though, Disney's okay with tattoos these days. As the only requirements for Disney, and these are public information, is, let me just get rid of that. The tattoo has to be smaller than your hand, like with closed fingers. So like, if you put your hand closed fingers on your wherever, in your balls, I don't care, anywhere that's exposed, if your tattoo is bigger than that, you can't have it. And I don't think Disney would care about Soichiro the dog, but I think I would prefer to have this particular tattoo not in public view. Giant hand. Large canvas. I'm not doing any of this. I'm not just a giant Soichiro. Like, this is me, just like Soichiro's just on my back. It's like I got a Hank Hill butt. You put your recommendation in the Twitch viewer? Oh, good. You want it? This is my tattoo? Oh. I thought this was what you wanted me to tattoo. Right here. Right in the backside of the shoulder. What is this? I'm trying to feel like that feels like it would suck to tattoo. Right in the inside of the elbow and the side of the calf. Yeah, I feel like that's a place that you should get shot by an arrow, not get a tattoo. Yeah, I'm feeling like... Yeah, I'm not worried about the pain. I know that having a tattoo, there's going to be some pain. I get that. There's been multiple people who have gotten tattoos, and I got that. I feel like this is a. I really like this. There's a lot of symbolism behind it. A lot that I don't have to explain to everybody. Like if people ask, I could just say, "Hey, Buttspot won." A big round of applause to Buttspot who won the Battle Royale down there. People who ask, I could just say, hey, it's from my favorite anime. It has a lot of meaning. You know, I love animals. I love dogs. I was Soichiro the monk when I was role playing. There's a lot of meaning behind this. So I'm thinking, what do you think? I like upper bicep, relatively small. First tattoo. I think that's a good shot. Now the question is, where? I gotta find somewhere to, and I don't think I'm gonna look that up on stream because I think Kitty is correct. That is probably too close, and I don't think there's any great place. What the fuck is this? What are you sending me? What is this? Very nice. Oh, that was fun. I will take. Excuse me. Whew. I hope that wasn't too loud. I will take some I will take it into recommendation to thoughts. I'm not in any huge hurry. I just really wanted to knuckle some things down and think about it. That was fun, guys. Do you feel like we learned something today? I know it wasn't a actual scientific test or anything, but I feel like even if we didn't learn whether or not we are autistic or not, I feel like it really. I screwed it up. Bye.
Thanks for your time. Have a good day.